hypocrite because I gave the Steelers a top 5 team in the National Football League. As an overall team, they are better. As an overall team, the Steelers are better than the Ravens. But guess what? Lamar Jackson's playing like a maniac. Do y'all realize Lamar Jackson is first in QBR? Do you realize he's thrown 24 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions? He's first in rushing. He is balling out like you would not believe. Now, I've already given up on my under 10.5. I mean, theoretically, I could get it. The Ravens are 7-3. They could go on a losing streak. They could be 7-4 after this game, possibly. 12 o'clock on the CBS. Ravens and the Steelers. We're going to break that down because that's one of those games right there that I keep looking at and I keep thinking to myself, man, I know that Russell Wilson, Russ-diculous, has been playing really good football. I mean, he's been a big difference maker for that Steelers team. Everybody thought Justin Fields should keep the job, but no, it was Russell Wilson whose turn. My boy, Carl Pickens' son, into an absolute freak. Absolute freak. But the problem is Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and Todd Monken calling plays over there in Baltimore is ridiculous. I think they score too much. Baltimore's a 3-point favorite in Pittsburgh. We're going to talk that game big time because that's something that I feel like pounding. Now, my good friend Darian Newsom, he is back, and the Seahawks play the 49ers at their crib.
Giving 6.5, good sir.
6.5, baby. And Gino's been throwing that junt. Problem is he's been throwing to the other team too much. 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He looks like a little Brock Purdy did first 4 games of the season.
I'd call him a little Jameis Winston. Yeah. the Tampa Bay Jameis, 30 and 30.
J-Dub,
Yeah, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions.
That's actually really, really, really good comparison. I love that. But we got all kinds of NFL action I'm fired up to talk about. The Commanders, the Redskins technically, because I still call them the Redskins, especially when I'm screaming for them. Golly, do you remember the fat dudes that used to dress up as hogs?
The Hogs. They were the Hogs.
They were like they were like the most dapper.
It was an ode to the offensive line, John.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You forget I'm old as you.
Do you remember Doug Williams throwing them touchdown passes?
Grambling University's on.
Man. And do you remember the best safety that ever played for Washington?
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green. Look at us putting respect on his name.
Mr. Green. I love me a little Washington action. I
took the 3.5 as well. Good, sir.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Man, I wasn't going to give that bad boy out until 10:50.
Oh,
but
keep
you know
yours.
what?
Yeah, yours are special.
I'll
Mine
just
are not.
hold on to it. Because we're going to talk about our bets. And we got a lot of bets to talk about. And I also got to talk about the Grizzlies. I don't know if you know they played last night, the Fakers. But it wasn't about the Lakers and the Fakers. Anthony Davis gets in foul trouble. There's an opportunity for things to go south. And guess who stands up?
Old man.
Nope, it wasn't the old man. It was Dalton Connect out of Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, a little career high action last night.
Bro, 5 for 5 from downtown. I mean, tell me, I might be crazy because I don't know if you know, I went to the Memphis Most thing. I got absolutely his-hammered, partied, had a lot of fun.
You were dapper, too.
Dude, I did look good. I ain't gonna lie. I did look good. I mean, I'm very modest. I'm a very, very, very. I'm not a narcissist or anything. Not even close.
Who would think that?
I did look great. Chaz looks super fine. Did you see her?
Oh yeah, you outkicked your cover, sir.
Man, dude, I outkick my coverage all the time, man. I don't know if you know this. I've been outkicking my coverage my whole life. I'm gonna continue to do
Overachiever.
it. Damn right, I'm an overachiever. My buddy Matt and Lauren, they look very dapper. Lauren at 901 Aesthetics won the best aesthetic joint. Like, what do you got? Like, what are those places called?
I think anesthesia. I don't know.
Man, they do I'm talking about, they will bleach your boo-boo. They will get the hair. Like, if you got buckwheat in the headlock, you know what I'm talking about?
Can we just call them doctors? I don't know.
They are doctors, by the way. Like, they're nurse practitioners. But that's the same thing as doctor. You can write a script, right?
You might have to get
Facials.
the listener line in on there. What's the actual title for that?
Damn it, you know what, man? If my boy Matt's listening right now, he's gonna punch me in the face. He's
right.
He's like, damn it, my girl's joint is like the most classy joint in the world, and you're talking about bleaching bums, and buckwheat in a headlock. They do facials. They do. Tom Brady goes over there to get his what's that, Botox? Yeah. Now he don't really go there, but people like Tom Brady do that. I think I need some Botox. You know what I'm saying? I need anything to keep myself looking young. If you want to stay young, they got those fat shots.
The fat shots.
You know what I'm talking about? When the people are kind of heavy and they take the shot and then they get skinny.
Yeah, 6 weeks later, boom.
Boom, man. You know what? I've never taken a shot.
John, I think we may have someone that may have some answers for us. Hold on. You got callers calling. Hold on.
901 Aesthetics is the greatest place in the whole wide world. And I do have a feeling that somebody's calling in to correct me because I need to be corrected a lot. We do have Isaac Simpson today, by the way. So at 11:30 today, we're going to talk about the Grizzlies-Lakers game, how Dalton Connect was a baller. We're going to talk about the last game, man. Like the last time, we're going to get to say goodbye to all of our peeps, Seth Hennigan and them boys. We're going to talk Tigers. We're going to talk Grizzlies. 12 o'clock, we get to talk about, and thank God, because we are the home of the Ole Miss Rebels. Hotty toddy, gosh almighty, who the hell are we? Flim flam, bim bam. Ole Miss by damn. You think anybody, I can't say that. What do you got?
I got your answer.
What is it?
Gentleman call says he dated a girl that removed hair from underarms. It's called an electrolysis.
Oh, yeah, but they got everything. They will remove hair. They will bleach. They will do Botox. They will do facials. They do, let me tell you something. If there's anything you need to fix, you go to 901 Aesthetics, and I promise you're going to come out there looking good. My girl get her face done, her neck done, or, they do blood things. Like, they hit you with needles, and all of a sudden, you come home, and you look like a little bloody, and the next day, you look like you Benjamin Button that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Got your Vanna White going on where she look all young and whatnot.
Man, Vanna White goes to 901 Aesthetics. Why do you think she still looks so damn good turning them? By the way, you can tell one thing, man. When you don't work hard in this world, you still look good. Like, you look at somebody that's worked their whole damn life, they look old, back hurting, hands be like calloused and everything, you know what I'm saying? You look at somebody who just talks into a microphone, they just look disheveled and drunk and high all the time.
Good analogy.
Good analogy. Thank you.
It was great.
But I am, I'm in studio. I'm fired up because, again, we got Washington, Philadelphia. We're going to talk the Ole Miss Rebels. They got a big, big game. They're off this week. They had a big game last week. They partied like rock stars. And I'm glad that they have a bye. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because I think probably they still drunk. Like, would you not be? You just finally slapped Georgia at your crib, partied, and partied. And I can tell you, it went down for real down in Oxford. I witnessed it. And I also witnessed one thing, and no disrespect to frat boys. No disrespect. I wish I was a frat boy. I would love to be that young. But there was a bunch of frat dudes who took their shirts off and, their pants, basically, and went sliding down the mud. And I was thinking to myself, damn, to be young and dumb. But how you going to get all that ish off of you? You know what I'm saying?
They're probably still working on it right now.
Nasty stuff. Now, back to football, back to sports, back to what we got to talk about today. Grizzlies got their butt kicked last night. Dalton Connect was awesome. He was the man, the myth, the living legend. And tonight we have a little bit of NBA action. And I was going to ask you, Darian, you've been down in Florida. Did you go by and see Mickey and Minnie and all them?
No, that's actually next month.
That's
with
next
the
month?
little lads. Yeah, I took Mom to Florida. She's vacationing to Florida. So what they call a road warrior. Got on the road, turned right around, and came back. 12
Dude, that's
hours.
like a truck driver
I know.
style.
I know. But no, I can't do that too.
How'd you stay up? Did you stay up the whole 12 hours with nothing?
Irish coffees. Irish coffees.
So, you're talking about little Bailey's, a little Jameson whiskey, and some coffee?
And some whipped cream, good sir. Don't forget that.
You got the cream?
Oh, yeah.
I got in trouble last night for whipped cream. I really did. I'm not joking with you. This is dead serious. Somehow I got a little whipped cream on my shoulder right here. And Chaz is like, what is that? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that the girl was going to leave that on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I hope she ain't listening.
How'd your 6 limo ride work out?
I don't talk about things that I can't talk
Was it
about. on the
beautiful?
radio.
Beautiful. Was it beautiful? That's all. That's
Beautiful.
all.
It was beautiful. Let me
Beautiful.
tell you something. It was beautiful. I was absolutely beautiful.
Hey, you were beating your chest, making all the men jealous last week. You know, none of us ever rode in a limo with 6 beautiful ladies. So
Shoot, you should see me sitting there with all them beautiful women.
they
Look,
styling,
hey, listen.
styling and profiling.
So over at 901 Aesthetics, if you go in there and you say Lauren, you're gonna be right 4 out of 5 times. There's 4 Laurens that work there. And
I just got what you said.
There's 4 Laurens and a Heather. Like, does Heather feel bad? I bet she does. She's like, damn it, why didn't they call me Lauren? It could be Lauren, and Lauren.
It's like a law firm. Lauren, and Lauren.
By the way, man, Miss Tennessee was at the Memphis Most last night. Poor girl. I wanted to go up there and give her a hug. I want to be like, hey, babe, slow down. Read. Calm down. It ain't no big deal. She was nervous as hell, shaking. But let me tell you something. She was shaking and looking cute. No, man, you know what? I shouldn't say this. I do have to say, though, do you know why we haven't won Miss America since 1985?
What, a Tennessean?
Tennessee has not won Miss
How'd
America.
you know that, man?
Man, I don't know if you know this. I'm up on my Miss Americas, bro. This is one of those things. Like, you know my boy Mikey? Remember
Yeah.
Mikey who
Yeah.
kicked away this week?
Yeah.
Man, my little frog came up. So my little guy Mikey, he is on the spectrum, and he remembers everything. He can list Heisman Trophy winners from the very first one all the way. He can tell you almost every single Alabama game. He is better than the Rain Man when it comes to sports. And I ain't talking about John Rainey. I'm talking about the dude who went out to Vegas with Tom Cruise and went crazy on the, blackjack they were playing? I'm talking like that. Now, I am not on the spectrum, but the only thing I can tell you is I do remember Miss America pageants. Because remember, we only had Dillard's catalogs and Miss America pageants to look at when we were kids. We didn't have phones where you could just go on your X and search whatever you would like to search. And bam, it pops up. You know what I just thought about? It's dangerous to give a 13-year-old boy a cell phone.
Absolutely.
Or even like access to a computer.
Yep. Because you know what? We were talking about this at work in ancient time when those guys had like just 4, 5, 8 wives. They couldn't see all the beautiful women in the world. They only had what was in front of them. You could not see what John Harden had across the world or Darian across the world. You only saw what you had. So
How many
now,
countries have you slept with?
countries.
Mm-hmm.
Dose.
That's it? Damn, son.
I went to school in the South, man. It wasn't a lot of, ladies from across the world. Went to Alcorn State. It was very Americanized.
I went to Memphis, bro. The Memphis. And thank God for my Spanish teacher because I got Spain on the check. I better leave that one alone. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to get back into a little bit of a rhythm here. We're going to talk a lot about gambling. I can't wait to talk about some serious actual sports with Isaac Simpson. Evie Van Pelt and us are going to break down what happened with Ole Miss. We're going to also talk about the Tennessee-Georgia game. We've been talking about it all week. And again, I keep looking at this. Last night I was asked a million questions about how is it that 8 teams in the SEC could actually be 6-2. And then I explained it again. And then they were like, how about the tiebreakers? And then I would explain it again. And I'm almost blue in the face. But the more I look at this with Nico Iamaleava, let me just tell you something. Chris Felica is wrong. He's going to play. Again, he was at practice yesterday. He's gotta pass a concussion protocol today. And once he does, guess what? We're going to have Tennessee plus 10. Tennessee plus 10 against Georgia, who Carson Beck has been absolutely awful since he started dating a Cavender twin, since he bought himself a Lambo. Again, this guy was 17-1 in his career. His touchdown to interception ratio was off the charts. Charts. Now this man has thrown 12 picks the last 6 games, and that defensive front for Ole Miss, the way they got up and got nasty and just rushed him. You can't run the ball. Like, ATN is banged up. They ran 26 times for 52 yards. That's 2 yards an average. You think Ole Miss's defense is good, and yes, they are. Wait till you see Tennessee's, who I think is honestly the best defense in the country. Beck's got 17 touchdowns, 12 interceptions on the season. If Nico doesn't play, I still trust Dylan Sampson.
The redshirt freshman.
Man, dude, yes. Even if he doesn't play, I trust their fifth-year senior who came from Central Florida and has been in Josh Heupel's offense his whole damn life, and he wants to be a coach. So he knows the offense like the front of his right hand and the back of his left hand. He does. I'm not worried about it. Man, you give me 10 points in this Georgia football team. Tennessee has not given up 20 points all season long, Darian. I don't even know. Have you not got on this?
I
So
did.
You're driving on. Oh, you did.
I've already did. So you just gave yours out. You're all over Tennessee, right?
All over Tennessee.
I'm giving that 10.5, baby.
Man, let me tell you something. Georgia went out there and slapped Texas. They still only won by 15 points. Slapped them. And it was a 15-point win. Florida, they beat them by 2 touchdowns, but they played with a walk-on quarterback from Yale. DJ Lagway was gone, and they still couldn't put him away. This is not the Georgia that you're used to. Remember Alabama, how they opened up that can? And then they let Georgia back in the second half because they were celebrating, and then Ryan Williams tap danced himself all the way to the end zone. Did a little ballerina pirouette. Also, do you remember the Kentucky game?
Oh, yeah, 13-12.
13-12. You give me 10 points against Georgia. Hell, I'll take Georgia Tech right now in 10. Georgia Tech just dropped Miami like a bad habit.
Well, I hope you're right about this Tennessee defense. Georgia's averaging more than 30 points at home, good sir. In Tennessee?
Oh, yes, because at home they played Mississippi State, they played Florida, Auburn, and I can't remember who the other one was. But are you telling me? So they played the 3 trashiest hook teams all out there. The worst teams in football at home. Yeah, you're going to do better. 1, you're at home, and 2, you're playing Mississippi State, Auburn, and Florida. Wait, they played in the largest cocktail party in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yep.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. You can call that a home stadium, even though it's 50-50. But what other home games have they had this year?
The only other one was Tennessee Tech.
Oh, damn.
Yep, and they blew them out 48-3.
70 to
first
nothing.
game. Yeah, that was first game.
I thought the first game they played this year was Clemson, man, because that's how we opened up the season. Remember, Dad?
Oh, hot dog. It is August 31, Clemson.
Yeah, that was.
But that was neutral, right? That was in Texas, right?
Man, it was neutral.
Yeah, that was a neutral field. So they went from Clemson to Tennessee Tech at home.
Man, I got text right now. Says, I'm listening to you on the radio. Your take on the Georgia-Tennessee game is fairly accurate. I've taken Tennessee plus 10 in the game. How desperate is Georgia? How desperate is Tennessee?
Very.
Georgia's desperate. You know what Georgia is? Georgia is that dude at 2 o'clock in the morning who is looking around and he will take a 0 just because he needs to feel like a hero. Seriously, like looking left, looking right, looking right. I mean, Kirby Smart. Oh, there's just a lot of good teams here in the SEC. There's a lot of football to be played. You know, we're not worried. We're not looking at this as an elimination game. Whatever, Kirby. Quit lying. You know your quarterback is with a cabinet. You know he's driving a Lambo. And you know you don't have Ladd McConkey. You don't have Brock Bowers. They ain't walking through that door. Your left tackle is banged up. Your right tackle is banged up. That offensive line doesn't look like it did against Texas. And that defensive front, listen, nothing but respect for Ole Miss. Reese McIntyre, very good friend of my baby girl. He's the center. Like him, thinks he's a good dude. He likes to get manicures and pedicures with her.
Little Caleb Williams action.
Dude, I got no problem with the mani and pedi. I don't know if you look at my hands, son. And did you see my eyebrows? Got them waxed yesterday.
No, you didn't.
You know I'm bougie as hell. Yeah, I like looking good. You didn't know that? You never noticed how good my fingers? Look at them joints.
You don't work hard, I see.
Oh, I ain't got no calluses.
No calluses.
It's because it's too much lotion on my head. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Your Tennessee deal,
Tennessee,
in which I disagree. I'm giving the 10.5.
Man, you have smoked too many rocks. You just got back from Florida.
Possibly.
Don't do that. I'm telling you, man. Tennessee. That defensive front, they will rotate 13 guys in. They're going to get all up in Carson Beck's business. Bell's the only dude that he's got to really get the ball to. And guess what? He ain't explosive. He's a tweener. And I mean, he's a half wide receiver and he's a half a tight end. So we taking Tennessee. And I got to take a break. Isaac Simpson's going to come in here and bring in a little bit of sports talk. What else is he going to bring?
I mean, not the Care Bear stare. That's
Terry Davis.
Yeah, that's Terry.
We're going to have to find out what Isaac thinks about how awesome Dalton Connect was last night. 5 threes. Lose to the Fakers. But you know what? There was no jaw. And Jalen Wells couldn't put a ball in a hole to save his life last night. Did you notice that?
Yeah, we still like him, though.
He's great.
I was more impressed with Jaren Jackson Jr. We were at the game last week. I was telling stats. I don't know why he can't flip this switch, but keep the switch flipped even when Ja arrives. Now watch when Ja comes back, he reverts back to this 14, 15-point guy, 6-7 rebounds. Like, he's balling right now. And that's what we need. That's what we need.
Grizzlies be balling. We got basketball here at the Grindhouse this weekend. They got a couple big games. When's the Warriors game?
A Friday, I believe.
Is that tomorrow? Today is Thursday, right?
Thirsty Thursday, good sir.
Damn, Skipper. I don't know if you know the best part of waking up. It's Tito's in your cup. We're going to take a timeout. Isaac Simpson on the other side. Do me a favor. Don't touch the dial. Back in Two Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Family Leisure needs your help. Family Leisure has inventory they've got to move because you know what season is coming up. So why wait? You can complete your ultimate game room with a new pool table, a new shuffleboard, new arcade games, or just get all of them. Tons and tons of theater seating, overstocked and priced to move. 'Tis the season for fire pits, and all fire pits at Family Leisure are 20 to 30% off. You say you didn't get a spa this year? Well, say no more. Spas are in stock and they're ready for delivery and up to $1,500 off. These are just a few of the deals happening right now for a very limited time. So come on, check out the gigantic showroom. You never know what kind of deal you're going to find at Family Leisure. Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together. Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. With over 175,000 cars served in our drive-thru, 4,000 online pickup orders, and 1,500 party packs delivered to offices and events every year, Corky's is your trusted go-to barbecue for parties. Our party packs start at just $6.99 per person. You can choose 1, 2, or 3 meat combos, pick your favorite sides, and as you know, Corky's always gives you plenty of food so you never worry about running out. Whether it's pickup or delivery, we've got you covered. Corky's makes it easy to impress your guests. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to order for your next gathering today.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Sky Rizzy to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Sky Rizzy, Risankizumab Rizin, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Years of allergic to Sky Rizzy. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Sky Rizzy, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means Ask your doctor about Sky Rizzy today and visit SkyRizzy.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
If you need glass
glass replaced, and there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a thirsty Thursday. Are you hungry, by the way, Darian?
Always, sir.
Are you thirsty?
Always, sir.
Man, let me tell you a little something. Man, you been to Los Cabos lately?
No, what they got going in there?
Bro, man, let me tell you something, man. They got a lunch special right now. Goes every single day from 11 to 3. They got a happy hour every single day from 3 to 8. They got a big old bar at the one that I frequent all the way at Summer and near Graham. You know what I'm talking about?
It's
big
like
old bar.
50 minutes away from the house.
Oh, yeah, you live all the way down
I got to
to
get out there. Yeah, you got to put some gas in the car. Got to get out there.
No, we got to. I don't know if you know this. You don't have to be back at work today. Oh, you're not even back. You have to work today?
Yep.
Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, we can go to Los Cabos after the show.
Yep.
We can get a little Patron on. We can get a little Tito's on. And we can eat the best Mexican food in Memphis, baby. If you want the flavors of Mexico to melt in your mouth, Los Cabos. And come see me, man. I'm at the one on Summer and Graham kind of often. My buddy Isaac Simpson, he's been chilling like a villain, taking care of business. Isaac, how are you doing on this beautiful Thursday?
Man, just out here living life in the 901, man. You know how it is.
Dude, living life in the 901. Actually, man, I don't. I don't, because I think I live a very charmed life. A very, very, very charmed life. So everybody complains about the 901, and I got to tell you something. I love Memphis more than anything. I mean, we got the Grizzlies last night playing the Lakers. Unfortunately, Dalton Connect went off. You got the Tigers. Everybody loves a little penny. You got Memphis this week. Last time we're going to see them boys at home. Seth Hennigan, who's leading all stats. I love me a little bit of Memphis, but I also understand a lot about Memphis. But, man, like, you got to tell me, what's it like living in the 901 for you?
Man, you know, we got our issues, man, but I love this city, man. I wasn't say born here. I was actually born in San Francisco, but I've been here. Yeah, but I've been here pretty much all my life. So moved here when I was like 2 years old. So I don't know anything about San Francisco. That's where I was born. But I'll say Memphis, born and raised, man. Just been here and just loving this city, man. That's the thing about it. People outside of this city probably don't understand it. But when you come here, man, you live here. Even people that transplants, when they come here, people love it. I mean, we get all this negative talk, but most of the people that live here, they love the culture. Just a lot of different things about this city, man. It's different. People outside don't understand, man. But like I said, man, I love this city.
Me too. And speaking of the city, man, we got a big one this weekend. Memphis Tigers. What's everybody going to be feeling? What do you think everybody's going to be thinking? And do they go out there and take care of their business, put a little bit of smile on, and how do we feel about what the record possibly will be at the end of the season?
You talking about football or basketball?
I'm talking about football. They got the Battle of the Bones, man. UAB,
yeah,
Memphis.
Battle of the Bones with UAB. I mean, this is a game that, UAB sitting at 2-7, man. This shouldn't be a tough game. But
have they won a game in the American yet?
They have or not.
I can't remember.
Yes, they have. Yes,
they have. They have. They did win a game in the American. I was going to say, I know they've been on the struggle bus, like it's going out of style. And Memphis is a 14-point favorite, and it is. But the thing is like, man,
yeah, they beat Tulsa.
Oh, they did. Damn, they beat Tulsa, no problem.
59-21.
Yeah.
Whoa. But this is the last time we're going to see Seth Hennigan and Rock Taylor and a bunch of them boys. Do you think they could be a little bit emotional, kind of looking around at the scenes? Or is this a game where they come in there, put the pedal to the metal, and they blow UAB out?
Man, that's what we hope to see. It's been kind of shaky these last few games. I mean, you did Rice game, man. All these past few games, you saw what happened down in UTSA. Even before then, they've struggled with Charlotte and some of these lower-tier teams. With this being the last home game for those guys, man. I would love to see them just come out and just
And ball.
blow the team out of water, man. Walk out with that rack of ribs, man. That's what you want to see on Saturday. Because kind of all the bigger things. I mean, we came into this season thinking this could be a college football playoff team. You're probably going to be in the conference championship game, and pretty much, barring some kind of miracle, those things are kind of off the table. So, I mean, just go out and win this game, and then you got a big one on Thanksgiving at Tulane, man. Just go out there and make a statement and finish this season off 10-2. I mean, that's kind of where we're at, probably looking at the Fenway Bowl, and that's depressing, kind of thinking of those bigger goals that we had coming into the season. But it is what it is, man. The only thing you can do is control what you control at this point. You got 2 games left. Go out and win them.
So, like, if Army, Tulane, Navy's still ahead of us with 5-1 records. So
Yeah.
there is no chance in the whole wide world, is there?
Not really, man. I think there's some small percentage chance, and then you had to go through all the tiebreaker scenarios. Everything would have to go perfect. All those teams would have to lose, which I don't see that happening. I think it's probably over at this point. That's nothing to even hang on to, man. It is what it is, man. The UTSA loss, I think that was kind of the end of, it was already tough at that point, and then you go out and drop one to UTSA, man. That pretty much kind of ended that situation. But, again, man, I know people look at Silverfield and kind of say, oh, well, you never win the big game, hadn't been to a conference championship game. And I think looking at this conference, man, and the resources that they have, that's where they should be. I mean, I can't sugarcoat it. I feel like, honestly, year in and year out, they should probably be in the conference championship game, especially when you have some of the bigger schools like Cincinnati, UCF, leading the conference. I mean, you should be there. So it is kind of a disappointment. I know people look at 10-2, and I don't think you can fire him. Like, people say, are they going to fire him? I have a hard time firing a coach 10-2 at Memphis, but it is disappointing, man. Especially looking at what we kind of felt coming into the season.
I have a very good feeling there's no way they get rid of Ryan Silverfield. They just
man. You go 10-2, 9-3.
Yeah.
They're not going to fire him.
But the pain for Memphis fans is just the promise, and this is the one thing I want to do. And again, it's the last game, Seth Hennigan at the crib, battle for the bones. It's going to be big, but I'm kind of curious, what is his legacy going to be? Like, he has every single quarterback record there. Like, it's all you can think about is quarterback record. But damn, man, a lot of quarterbacks come to mind that I think were better when they played.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's an interesting question, because you look at the record books and he's there. I mean, he's the top guy. But I think eye test wise, anybody that's followed this football program, just thinking back guys like Brady White, Riley Ferguson, Paxton Lynch, I would put him fourth on that list. Despite the fact that he has all those records, I think all those guys had more of an impact, had a better career. Because I had big hopes for him coming into this season, and it kind of felt like he regressed. I think he was better last year. This year, I mean, he's just missed a lot of throws. He hasn't been able to seem to overcome some things when the team really needs him to step up. He's thrown picks. It's just didn't have the year that I thought, man. I thought this was going to be a year where he really came out, solidified himself as an NFL draft pick, and was going to get picked somewhere in the later rounds, and that just never materialize. I mean, the numbers are there, but I think when you put it in perspective and you kind of watch this football team, like you said, eye test-wise, I think anybody that's followed this program knows that out of this last 3 or 4, this run of quarterbacks they've had, he's probably fourth, at best third, I think, on that list. Because even people talk about Brady White.
Danny Wimprime, Brady White, Paxton Lynch, Riley Ferguson. Like, I can think of them just like that.
Because it was kind of the same way with Brady, but I think it's even worse with Steph. Brady was kind of that way too, breaking all his records. Because I'm kind of partial. I'm a Riley Ferguson guy. I loved Riley Ferguson, what he was able to do with this team, and that might have just been just simply the talent that he had around him at that time. But yeah, man, I think he's gonna walk away with a lot of those records. But I think overall, I think if you kind of look back on his Tiger career from where he started, I don't think he ever hit that ceiling that I think everybody thought he would.
It's just, what the thing is I also wonder, though, when we go back and talk about Ryan Silverfield, like, why is it that he didn't develop more from his freshman year to his senior year, especially in his senior year when he thought he was going to be able to take that next, that step? Like, dude, same offensive coordinator for the last 3 years, same coach, same quarterback. You kind of expect a little bit more from that.
Yeah, man, because if you go back to his freshman year, man, it looked like he was on the way to
big
like
time
one of the best quarterbacks in the country or something. Like, and it just never really got there. I think he got better his second year, but it's kind of been stagnant. And like I said, I would venture to say to me, it felt like he was better last year. I feel like he regressed. Some of the throws that he was making, some of the things he was doing last year, he didn't even do that this year. I don't know what it was. Like you said, same offensive coordinator for 3 years. You just expected him that growth, and it just never really came.
And, like people are going to look at the, Texas-San Antonio game, and if you look at his stats, 450 yards.
Yeah.
I think he threw 4 touchdowns in that ball
Looked
game.
great on paper.
Dude, it looks great on paper, but how many throws when it was third down and important did he miss? And that's one of the things that kind of just, I guess, sticks in your craw and your mentals, because that was one of the worst third quarters that I think that he's ever had.
Yeah, I think that third quarter, that might have been the worst. You look at those stats, and it looks great, but that's probably, if not, it's one of the worst games he ever played for the Tigers. There's no question about that. I know those numbers look fantastic, but he was bad in that game. And like you said, I mean, he just left a lot of meat on the bone. I mean, there's so many throws where he had guys and just missed them.
Dude, I think at 3rd and 4, Blankupsy wide open. And just wide open, and my man throws it right at his feet. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, damn, put the ball in front of him. It's a touchdown.
That was, man. I don't know what he saw. I don't know what happened there, man. But, yeah, man, threw the ball at his feet. Blanksy put his hands up like, what is going on? But, yeah, man, he definitely missed a lot of throws this year, man. I don't think there's any question about that.
Now, speaking of Memphis Tigers, I want to also ask you about this basketball team. How are you feeling early on in the season? I know everybody is like, PJ Haggerty, he's going to get to the line. He's averaging 11 and a half free throws a game. Dude, his second half is ridiculous. But how concerned are you about the depth?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest question with this team. I mean, they put 2 nice wins in their back pocket. I mean, you beat Missouri at home, go on a true road game all the way out to Las Vegas. Kind of the same thing in both games. Tell it 2 halves. Really bad in the first half in both games. Didn't look like a good basketball team in either game. Come out in the second half, especially in the UNLV game, and that's probably some of the best offensive efficiency I've seen under Penny since he's been here under his tutelage. I think that's some of the best that we've ever seen. I mean, that second half was just amazing for this team. PJ Haggerty averaging 27 points a game, man, just crazy stuff, man. And I don't feel like it's something that's a fluke. I feel like that's something that continues. Like, he might not score 27 every night, but I think he's a 20-plus guy pretty much every night. But, yeah, man, the depth is definitely a concern. They were able to, especially in the front court, they were able to kind of skate that. I was kind of worried about it. Nick Jourdain picked up his 4, and Musa Cisse had 4 as well, kind of midway through that second half, and they were able to kind of navigate that without any problem. But if you're playing a better team, man, at some point that's going to come back to bite you. And that's why we talked about this last week. I think them losing Tyreek Smith was a big loss, because I think he was going to be a really good piece for this team, because it gave you another big, and then you kind of looking at 4 bigs now, and now you got Danger and Jourdain in the starting lineup, and you only have Musa off the bench, which I think that's going to end up switching. I think at some point Musa's going to end up in that starting lineup, and Danger's going to be the backup. I think from what we've seen, I think that should probably already be the case. Excuse me. But, yeah, man, that depth is going to be a problem because big men in college basketball, they're going to get in foul trouble. And especially with the way they play, Musa kind of being a shot blocker, kind of to get the way he plays, he's going to pick up fouls. Danger's a big guy as well. He's going to pick up fouls as well. So that's something that's going to come back to bite them at times, especially when they're playing against good teams like you got UConn coming up out of Maui. Man, you got to keep those big men out the floor, because I think you're going to come to a point where you're not going to have anybody to put out there. I mean, that's going to be the issue. And I'm not from what I've seen from Danger, I know he had 11 rebounds.
Are you Danger?
But yeah, I don't. That's not a guy that I trust, Simon, because I just think he makes a lot of mistakes out on the floor. It's just, I don't know, that big man depth is going to be an issue. That's why they lost Tyree Smith. Penny is kind of left it open. I think he has 2 or 3 scholarships left. Then he's going to add somebody. I don't think there's a Naquan Tomlin out there, though. That was kind of a miracle type pickup. You're usually not going to get a guy like that in the middle of the season, but we'll see. But I definitely think they need more depth there. And even on the wing, I think they could use another 3, a guy that can play small forward as well. So the depth is thin. I mean, you look off the bench, they only had 5 points off the bench. I mean, Musa with 2 points, and Okogie with 3 points, man. That's not going to cut it, man, once this competition gets riled up. So, again, 2 nice wins in their pocket right now, but we'll see what happens when competition steps up. Man, they got an opportunity to get 2 more. You got Ohio, a team, they're 1-2, but they were picked to win the MAC. So, hopefully that comes to fruition. Hopefully they don't disappoint. We kind of saw this last year where you thought they were picking up good wins, and all those teams kind of fill out the map and underachieve from where they're supposed to be. And then you're on the road at San Francisco with another team that's kind of expected to be a tournament team as well. So you could go, if you go, I think you have to feel pretty good, though, if you go into that Maui 4-0. I mean, that's 4 solid victories, 2 road games, UNLV, San Francisco, and then you take care of business at home. I mean, go 4-0, play 4 games, man. The only thing you can do is win them. And I think if they go into the Maui 4-0, you kind of go in to that UConn game kind of with house money.
So you think there's any chance that while we're sitting there eating Thanksgiving turkey that the Tigers end up 5, maybe 6-0?
And it's going to be tough. I think asking them to beat UConn is kind of a monumental task. I think going into Maui, I think if you can come out of that thing 2-1, I think that's a realistic goal. You got UConn, man. That's going to be tough. I'm not saying they can't win that game, but that's going to be tough. I mean, you talk about the 3rd-ranked team in the nation and defending national champions. I know they lost some pieces, but that's still a really good basketball team. And I think coached by Hurley, I mean, one of the best in the country as far as that, because that's going to be a tough one. But you win, lose that game, you either get Michigan State or Colorado, also 2 solid teams, and kind of go from there. I think if you can get 2 wins, I think you're happy coming out of there.
When you look at the American Conference this year, right now, who do you think Memphis is scaring? I know it's a very early season, but like, who do you actually think that has an opportunity to possibly win this conference outside of course, our Memphis Tigers?
They voted UAB, and I've watched UAB a couple games.
They already lost this year, haven't they?
They took a loss to Vermont and didn't look good. I think they were playing one of the Louisiana teams, Southeast Louisiana or somebody, and they had to kind of give everything they got to make a big run at the end to kind of come back and win that one on the home floor down at Bartow. So they haven't looked great. And that's kind of the team. This is, even going back to last year, this is expected to be a down year for the AAC. So there is no excuse for Memphis not to win this conference. I mean, we've year in and year out, man, they're coming in 4th, 5th place in this conference, man. There's just no excuse for that. And I can't continue to make excuses for Penny and things that are going on in the program because, again, man, teams have things to go on, but it seems like it's year in, year out. There's always some kind of drama. We're waiting for this to happen. Okay, well, we got to get through this, and that we don't need any more than that. Hopefully this is a year where it's drama-free, and these guys just go out and take care of business on the basketball floor. But there is no excuse, in my opinion, for them not to win this conference, and that's kind of been the case every year, and it gets worse and worse every year because I think this year this conference is even more down than it was last year. So I look at that UAB team, and there's no reason why Memphis shouldn't be better than that team.
Conference play does not start till, I believe, January 2nd. Of course, they got, the Maui Classic. I know they play Arkansas State, Clemson. I think they play both Mississippi schools. Don't they play State and Ole Miss
they play
back-to-back?
at Virginia as well, Louisiana Tech. Yeah, and they play back-to-back, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, both at FedEx Forum. So, man, one thing that Penny does, man, if you give him credit for anything, he gives them opportunities to win games early. And we saw that last year, man. We felt good coming out of non-con play, and they just went in the conference play and just bottom fell out of the thing, man. So hopefully that's not what happened this year. Hopefully they can win a lot of these games in non-con and kind of build up kind of a reputation or a tournament resume there and go into conference and handle these games like they're supposed to.
Man,
I mean, they're probably going to be favored pretty much in every game this season. So I mean, there's just no, unless they do what they did last year and they become a bad team. But they, looking at it on paper, man, again, like I said, there's no reason why they shouldn't go in here and dominate this conference.
Man, I'm talking with my good buddy Isaac Simpson. Follow him at Isaac__NBA. We're going to be back in 2 shakes. We got to talk about them Grizzlies. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, mainly 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collier's historic town square. Come out for their lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about the world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with a grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lakes, Delta-raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collier's historic town square.
If you've ever worried about the safety of your home and family, there's no better time to act. Get 60% off a new Simply Safe security system today. Old school alarm systems only kick in once somebody is already inside your home. Simply Safe stops criminals from entering your home with its exclusive Active Guard outdoor protection. To get 60% off any new system with a select professional monitoring plan, go to simplysafecolin.com, COLIN. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. Happy Thursday. It ain't wet like it was yesterday. The sun is shining, it's beautiful. And, baby, we gambling. We got the Commanders. We got the Eagles. But right now, we got Isaac Simpson. Isaac, what it do, my homie?
Man, what it do?
Man, I gotta ask you a quick question, man. Like, what happened last night, man? No Ja, no Bane. Edey played well. Wells couldn't hit a shot. And then Dalton Knecht goes 5 for 5 from the three-point line. And LeBron made some big plays down the stretch. Lakers with a dub. They're undefeated at the house. What are you thinking about this Grizzlies team early?
Yeah, I was going to say Lakers 6-0 at home right now. I think, Taylor Jenkins is the blame for a lot of this. I think he left that lineup in too long. I think he had John Conchar, LaRavia, Marcus Smart. I can't remember who else in that lineup. Left in too long, and I think that's kind of where they lost the game. That in the third quarter bridge into that fourth quarter is kind of where they let the Lakers kind of get their mojo back, and I think that's kind of what happened. And I think me being a guy that wasn't even a big Edey guy coming in, I've kind of flipped my thoughts on that. I think they don't use him enough. I think he sat on the bench for like 12 minutes straight. I don't understand that. He started Day Huff in the game going up against Anthony Davis. Some of the decisions that he makes, I just don't. They're perplexing. They're head scratching, and I think he holds this team back at times. And I think a coach that coached this game correctly, I think they win that game last night. I think because there was a point where when AD had to leave the game, AD and LeBron were out, and he had Jared Jackson Jr. and Zach Edey sitting on the bench at that time. As soon as they went out, I would have
put the big man in and let him eat.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was like, man, put Edey in there. And nobody else that can guard him right now. You put him in right now, and he's just going to dominate it. He just kind of left him and Jared on the bench, sitting there during that time. And I just didn't get that. The team is 7-5 right now, and kind of looking back at these games, I think they should really be 9-3, 10-2 right now. If you just kind of look at how they've kind of blown some of these games, big leads they had, and just missteps down late in the game. Just one thing that Taylor Jenkins does some good things, but I think his biggest flaw is he doesn't seem to understand the moment. Like, you'll see momentum switches and other coaches, even if they take their star players out, if they see a situation where the other team's coming back and they got momentum, they're losing the game, they'll throw them back in. With Taylor Jenkins, he kind of just sticks with that same script. Like, he doesn't care whether they lose the lead. He's only going to put those guys back in when it's time, quote-unquote, time for them to come back in. And I just think that's his biggest flaw. And I think he loses them ball games at times because of that.
I'm kind of right there with you. I mean, hell, in the third quarter, I thought the Grizzlies were going to be good until the end of it. And in the fourth quarter, I started saying to myself, oh, man, God, they're right here in it. I think there was about 5 minutes left the last time I saw it last night in a little bit of a blur. I think it was like 110 with like 5 minutes left to go in the game. And I'm like, all right, they got this. And then Dalton Knecht started hitting threes. Austin Reeves hit another one. And then just everything went south.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Scottie Pippen Jr., but even though he had 15 points last night, I think he kind of forced offense at times, took some bad shots there late in the game, and I just think he hurt him as well, kind of being that backup point guard. I think he gets a lot of flack. I think you have to look at him as being a backup point guard. I know he's starting now, but if he didn't have flaws, I think he would be a starting point guard because he can definitely score. I think facilitation is kind of his issue, and that's where he's had some growing pains. I think last night he kind of said before the game that he had this game circled because the kind of Lakers gave up on him, and I think he kind of played in there a little bit too much. Like, he wanted to be the star last night, man. He was taking a lot of shots that he shouldn't have taken, man. He needs to distribute that ball a little bit more. So a tough night for him. I think he kind of hurt them down the stretch as well, man. But that's a game, definitely a winnable ball game, I mean, especially when you kind of look at this run of games they got. They got the Warriors, man, and I don't know what's going on in San Francisco, man. I don't know how that team, they've had a resurgence, man. You lose Klay Thompson, and the guys are a year older. They're already an old team, didn't really add anything, and they look like one of the best teams in the league right now, and I don't really get it. But I kind of think eventually they're going to cool off, but right now, man, they're hot. So you got that tough game coming up tomorrow night, and then you got the Nuggets back-to-back on the home floor on Sunday and Tuesday. So tough stretch, man. You hoping coming in there you can go 2-2. The Lakers game was probably the easiest or one of the easiest of the four, so you were hoping to get that one. So now you're kind of looking at a situation where
Golden
you win
State
on Friday,
looks good,
it's tough to
bro.
beat Denver back-to-back.
Golden State looks good.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man.
Me
I don't
neither.
get how they've had this resurgence, man. They look fantastic. A lot of weird stuff, man. Cleveland, what 13-0
They haven't
right
lost yet,
now.
have they?
Who's that?
Cleveland hadn't lost yet, have they?
No, they're 13-0, man. Won again last night, which is wild, man. I knew they'd be a good team, but 13-0 is crazy. You got the Bucks that are struggling right now. You got the Timberwolves and the Mavericks both outside of the play-in right now. They're like 11-12 or something in the West right now. So it's some weird stuff going on, man. I think it'll probably eventually Timberwolves lost back-to-back to the Blazers over the last 2 days, back-to-back in Portland. So a lot of weird stuff going on in the league right now. I think eventually it'll right itself. I think the Grizzlies, you look at them sitting at 7-5. When I look around the West, people came into this year saying, "Oh man, the West is going to be so much better than it was." It really, so far, it doesn't look that way. Like, nobody really looks like a juggernaut. I mean, OKC is doing what they're doing, but outside of that, I mean, I think
They got that
this
Chet
Grizzlies
issue,
team is
by the
healthy.
way. The Chet issue, I think, is going to be big for them.
Yeah, because they already don't have a size. I mean, you're already looking at a small team. You lose him because they're starting like Dick Williams at center or something right now. Dick Williams at the 5. They have no size right now. But if you just look around the West, I feel like, I mean, the way this Grizzlies team's been able to compete with, I mean, you had arguably your two best players down with Ja and Desmond Bain. I feel good about where this team is. I think if they can get healthy, and I know that's a big if, and that's something that we've been talking about for a couple of years now. If they could ever get healthy, man, I think this is a top 4 team in the West. I mean, that Lakers team doesn't scare me because, I mean, it took everything they had, even though it's a game they should have won, to beat the Grizzlies short-handed. And the Grizzlies didn't even play well for most of that game and only lost by 5. So, and I feel good about where this team is, man. They just gotta find a way to sustain health, and that's just something that they haven't been able to do over the last couple of years.
It's kind of weird. The whole West feels like it's come out of the block very slow. I mean, the Mavericks are terrible right now. Timberwolves don't look good. You got like the dead gum. I mean, like it's just been very. Oh, what happened to the New Orleans Pelicans, man?
Yeah, I mean they have some injuries as well because they're dealing with Dejounte Murray. He's out, and I mean Zion. He's always in and out of the lineup. But that I don't really worry about the Pelicans because again they're just injured as the Grizzlies. I mean they always have injury problems. Zion can't stay healthy for any significant amount of time. So yeah, I mean they're all the way down at 3-9. Yeah, it's been weird, man. The Mavericks 5-6. They don't look good. Minnesota 6-6. It's just like I said, nobody's really separated themselves. Denver's 7-3, but they haven't looked great either. And I kind of had a feeling that they would drop off a little bit. So they're not as scary as they used to be either. So I think the West is wide open. I think OKC is kind of that team. As long as if Tech can get back, I think they'll be fine. I think Golden State's going to drop off. I think Phoenix, they get KD back. I think that's going to be a team to be reckoned with. But outside of really OKC and Phoenix, man, I don't really know if any of those teams really scare me. If the Grizzlies are healthy, man, I'll take them toe-to-toe with anybody.
Man, if they can stay healthy, we're going to take them. We're going to back them. We're going to love them. We're going to support them. He's Isaac Simpson. Isaac, _NBA. What you got coming down the pipe, baby?
Yeah, man, just taking a little break, taking a little breather. But, man, that We Are Memphis podcast is definitely on the way. Definitely going to be launching that jump by the end of the year. So be able to look out on that. Again, you can go follow the page at We Are Memphis POD, at We Are Memphis Pod on Twitter, on the X app. So go follow that. You can follow me on my regular Twitter feed at Isaac _NBA.
Man, I thought I was the only person in Memphis that still said the word junt.
I am over here dying because Isaac said he was from San Francisco, and when I just heard John, we are the same person.
No, man, it's Memphis over here, man.
Memphis, man. Follow my good buddy Isaac Simpson. Isaac, thank you for your time. Be blessed. We'll do it again next Thursday. And again, follow him at Isaac _NBA. We're going to talk Ole Miss, man. Rebels.
Both of us caught that junt. Did you hear?
I love the word junt. I love smoking junts. I love saying junt. I love that junt. I don't think there's any word that makes me just feel a little bit better than roll out my mouth. Junt. Yo, bro, pass that junt. Yo, homie, roll that junt up. Man, give me that junt. Junt. We're back in 2 shakes. We're going to talk about Ole Miss and how they just tearing things up. They beat Georgia. Man, they beat Georgia bad. You know that, right? The defensive front, they look rich and ridiculous, don't they? Man. What's Tennessee going to do to Georgia? I know I got Tennessee plus 10, baby. Come on, Nico, pass your concussion test. And if you don't, Dylan Sampson, run the ball down their throat. Throw a few more interceptions, Carson Beck. But it's time to talk about the Rebels. The Rebels do have a basketball game. They play Colorado on Saturday. By the way, do I have somebody to work in that game yet?
Oh.
I hope so. I've been kind of busy this week.
I've been MIA.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you've been going to Florida.
With the junts. Florida with the junts.
You know, by the way, Florida said no to the junts.
They did.
They voted junts down. Do you know why Florida voted junts down? And junts means marijuana. Like, they had an opportunity.
They had to get 60% of
in
the
the
vote.
state of Florida had to get 60% of the vote to legalize marijuana in the state. Do you know why they voted no?
Because of Helene.
No, because what the hell are the drug dealers going to do? Seriously, do you know how many drug dealers are from Florida? Every single one I know is like, yeah, man, I've been in Florida, my whole life, brah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Man, we're going to smoke that joint on the other side. We got to talk Ole Miss football with the great Evie Van Pelt from the Rebel Walk back in 2 Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
Thinking about buying a lab-grown diamond versus a natural diamond? Before you make a decision, get the facts at Genesis Diamonds.
We have professionals, certified diamond graders, people who have been in the industry for 20, 30 plus years.
as Genesis carries both natural and lab-grown diamonds and all kinds of codes.
So if they have a question about lab-grown diamond value, we will explain that. We'll explain the difference in price. We'll explain what to expect in the future.
He says beware. A lot of jewelry stores are using the popularity of lab-grown diamonds to outrageously mark up these stones.
Some retailers charge unreasonable amounts for lab-grown diamonds, and I think that they do take advantage of customers.
But at Genesis, their low price margin philosophy is the same for natural and lab-grown.
Our prices still remains.
Get the education and value you deserve every day on every diamond. Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Coming up, a big NFC East battle when the Eagles host the Commanders. Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and Philadelphia ran over the Cowboys last Sunday for their 5th straight win. Now they face Jaden Daniels in Washington, who are 7-3 with the division lead on the line. Ian Eagle and Ross Tucker have the call on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? 'Cause I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work in them by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
56, WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis with Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus. Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
That is one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is Thursday, and you know that on Thursday we talk Ole Miss. What a big win last week. I don't know if I've ever partied that hard down in Oxford. In fact, no, if I did, I don't remember. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes you go blackout, you somehow your body works, but your brain don't remember nothing the next day. I had that feeling on Sunday. I was like, how did I get home?
You may have been asleep.
No, I wasn't sleeping, dude. No. I was up, man. The electricity was flowing. The way I felt after that big dub. The Rebels are right there. Their defensive front.
You saw the goal pole come down?
Hell, man, are you kidding me? You didn't see my pictures, bro. I ain't shown you. No, I didn't get on the field.
Oh, you didn't get out there and
I get
partake?
on the field before the game and stuff, and then go up to my seats. But I ain't jumping down on the field with all them crazy kids.
I could see you on the goal post
No,
getting her done.
No. You know, like you have to sit there and the pole is in between your legs. I don't know if you know I'm old. That would not feel very good. But, man, it felt so good to get a big W. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to talk with Evie Van Pelt. She's from the Rebel Walk. She's the founder. She's the publisher. She started the #1 source for all things Ole Miss when it comes to sports information, basketball, football, you name it, she's got it. Evie, how is life treating you?
Hey there. I am doing great. I'm so happy to be here after such a big epic win, and I appreciate you sharing your pictures with me. Those were awesome. Looked like y'all had a great time, as did everybody in the record-breaking attendance there Saturday in the lot. So big win, and Rebels are back in it in the college football playoffs.
Now, they're back in it and they're solid right now. Like I'm feeling, maybe I'm feeling too comfortable. Should you maybe calm me down? Like, should I feel as comfortable as I feel? Because right now, like I look over what's going on in the Southeastern Conference, all the opportunity for all the teams to be at 6-2, the craziness, the Tennessee Georgia game. You got Texas A&M going down the stretch, Alabama. I just feel like there is no way, as long as Ole Miss handles their business, that they fall outside of the top 12.
I agree with you, but I do think that there's just, sometimes the pollsters and the pundits and the playoff committee and people just, they're not always nice to the Rebels. I mean, I like where we are at 11. Do I think they should be higher?
I think
Actually,
so.
I do think they should be higher, and I think that right now you sit there and you look at, okay, so Texas is number 3, but their best win is against a 6-4 Vandy team. Literally nothing against Vandy. I'm proud of Vandy, but that's their best win. Penn State's best win is over 6-3 Illinois, and Indiana's best win, I guess, is over a 5-4 Nebraska.
Yeah.
Maybe a 500 Michigan. So none of the 3, 4, 5 have beaten anyone that's currently in the top 25. So, the rankings kind of frustrate me a little bit. I would like Ole Miss to be a little bit higher. I worry they could. I don't know. I'm not worried because I think they're going to beat Florida and I think they're going to beat Mississippi State. And heck, I predicted they would beat Georgia. So I think they win out. I'm not worried at all about that. I guess it's like Lane Kiffin says, we just control what we can control and let everything else fall where it will.
Well, speaking of letting things fall where it will, you bring up Texas. They have the weakest schedule right now currently in the SEC. Like, if everything went crazy, and we had the doomsday scenario, which I've talked about, if Texas somehow – sorry, Evie. If Texas lost maybe to Arkansas or A&M lost to Auburn, and then they play at the end of the season, whoever lost, the other team wins that game. You could literally have 8 teams if Missouri wins out, if Ole Miss wins out, which, by the way, Ole Miss has got Florida and Mississippi State. If they don't win out, I promise you, Evie, I'm going to lose my mind. But you could have a doomsday scenario where 8 teams are all at 6-2. The strength of schedule would have LSU playing Alabama. The weakest team is Texas, who's right now 3rd in the college football playoff rankings. They would be the 8th team in that scenario, which is the 4th tiebreaker.
I know. Isn't that? It's like, make it make sense. I was looking at it, and, it's funny. I heard before Ole Miss played Georgia, one of the people speaking, one of the pundits talking ahead of time, Ole Miss better beat Georgia because their, non-conference schedule was so weak. But if you go and look at it, if you look at the strength of schedule, if you look at ESPN strength of schedule, Texas is sitting there at 56. And Ole Miss is at a much more respectable 23. So I wish we would lose all the conversation about Ole Miss and their strength of schedule because it is what it is there. But yeah, I mean, isn't everybody looking at that Tennessee Georgia game and then of course the Texas and Texas A&M game going to be really interesting? And you're right, we could have 8 SEC teams that finish with 2 losses. So
which would be wild.
Which would be wild.
Now, I got to ask you this also, because, again, it's the first year of the college football playoff expansion to 12. And, again, I'm going to be, frank with you. I don't know if you know, I was so against this. I thought to myself that baseball's regular season is 162 games. It's so annoying. I don't watch the NBA usually until Christmas Day because the first half of the season is pointless. You look at just basically the NFL, which is just a different animal in itself. But if you look around the major sports, there was no regular season that meant more than college football because every week you had to win. At the end of the year, you had Ohio State, Michigan. You had Alabama and Auburn. You have all these amazing games. Now that they've expanded to 12, I've never been more excited. So I was 100% wrong. But the one caveat that I have, like a little bit of like, damn, I don't know if they ever saw this coming is the Big Ten and the SEC never, ever want teams not to play in their conference championship game. And it feels like right now when I talk to a lot of fan bases, they don't want to play in the SEC championship game. They don't want that third loss. They fear that. Is there any chance that an SEC championship game leaves the loser out?
That's the thing. I keep hearing, no, they won't leave. The committee won't leave a conference champion, a loser in a conference championship game out. They likely won't. They don't want to penalize people. But I don't really believe that.
LSU, if they wouldn't play Alabama right now, let me tell you something. If LSU actually made it and wins out and everybody goes 6-2, the doomsday scenario, how could you have LSU if they lost to Alabama in that game with 4 losses getting into the playoff?
Absolutely. And then we look at what happened with Georgia last year. I know it wasn't a 12-team playoff, but it's still the same, idea. And I'm with you. I'm excited. The projection right now, the projection's kind of funny. I'm sure it has Ole Miss going to Happy Valley to play
Let me just
Penn
tell you
State.
something. If the season ended today and we got to play Penn State and then go beat BYU's ass, I'm dancing naked in the street.
I am there. I am there with you. And then, get the winner of likely Texas and Alabama because, again, what is Indiana doing? Indiana's numbers, I don't get it. I'm confused.
Well, Penn State
by what
lost
is
by
happening.
21, has not beat it. Like, think about it. Indiana, Penn State, they don't have a single top 25 win on the season, period.
No.
And they are 4-5.
If your best win is 5-4 Nebraska or 500 Michigan, I don't understand why we're having the conversation. But I absolutely, and David and I have gone back and forth about this. He's of the mindset, no, you go. If you're Ole Miss and you've got that team that they've got, you've got that defense, and you've got Jackson Dart in the offense, and you get the opportunity to go to the SEC title game, you relish it and you hammer whoever it is you're playing in that game. And I understand, that's a competitive athlete mentality. I'm over here looking at it from the point of view of
analytics.
Yeah. And I don't want anybody hurt. We talk about who we're gonna put in bubble wrap. What are we gonna do? Because there's a lot that could go wrong. So that's just my feeling, and I just don't know that anybody can predict what that committee's going to do.
Yeah, well, because right now, I think everybody after the college football playoff rankings came out on Tuesday went absolutely crazy all night Tuesday and all day on Wednesday. Now, speaking
BYU jumping Tennessee. Tennessee has a win over Bama. Yeah.
They haven't given up 20 points all year, and they are penalized for, I don't understand why.
I don't either.
And by the way, BYU shouldn't have won that game. That was a terrible call by the refs.
I know. Absolutely. The whole thing. And, and then you go and you look at, not to belabor it, but you look at who's played, ranked teams. And Alabama's played 5 ranked games. Ole Miss has played 3. Georgia's played 4. Ohio State's played 2, Oregon's 2, and one of those was against each other. And again, I don't have any problem with Ohio State and Oregon, but I'm just saying, you just look at the SEC, and it is hard to understand how they're ranked.
It is definitely hard to understand. Now, this is also hard for a lot of people to understand how important being healthy is. Everybody at this point of the year is they're beat up. And, all year long, Reese McIntyre, the center for Ole Miss, he's been around different guys almost every single week. They got a bye right now. How healthy is this offensive line going to be going forward?
It's a great time to have a bye, and it's funny because Kiffin, I guess, maybe he's in the same mentality as David is. They want to play. But even Kiffin this week, Monday and in the Wednesday SEC coaches teleconference talked about just getting healthy this week. And, it's like he said, we've done all these last few games without the best wide receiver in the country in Trey Harris. There is talk that we really may legitimately see Trey Harris for the Florida game, so that would be wonderful. But in terms of the offensive line, they emerged pretty healthy from that game. I'm hoping against Georgia, and I'm hoping we do see Jaden Williams, left tackle, out there. But in the meantime, I think they've really come on these last few games. I've been really excited about them, and the transfers that we brought in have done a great job. And again, they've been really, Kiffin has said they've been good in pass protection. And when they were struggling, it really wasn't as much pass protection as it was run blocking. They really kind of struggled.
Yeah, they weren't getting off the ball and getting to the second level.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't hitting linebackers at all. I mean, they were filling holes and just smashing Harris. So it was terrible.
And but I mean, I'm just itching and twitching to talk about the defense. Kevin talks about the twitch there on the defensive ends, and I feel like that's what I've got right now because I'm just so excited. Were you just not beside yourself watching that defense in the fourth quarter and how they just manhandled Georgia and Carson Beck?
It seems like ever since they went to this, Columbia to play South Carolina, the defense has been on a different level. Like Pete Golding has them playing just at a different level. We expected this earlier in the season, didn't see it necessarily against Kentucky, but ever since they lost to Kentucky, that defensive front's been nasty.
They really have, and the cool thing is they don't even feel like they have starters and backups. They feel like the players themselves, I don't know how the coaches feel, but they just feel like everybody they have who goes in there is the same as everybody else. I mean, look at Xavier Harris, big Xavier Harris out there. I mean, that guy is a monster. And then, even not just the defensive front. I mean,
talk about them linebackers, by the way.
Yes,
got Pooh, TJ, and Suntarian.
Yes.
Those three dudes could be all three NFL dudes.
I mean, that's what I was just fixing to say that. Daughtery had 10 tackles. He led the team in tackles. Chris Ball had 9. He was second on the team in tackles against Georgia in a quarterback hurry. And so I just think, that secondary, the secondary's looking better. Don't
they
you
have
think?
the most pass breakups in the SEC, I believe, going into this week?
Yes, and you combine that, they've got just, they lead the nation in sacks with 46. They also lead the nation in tackles for loss. They have 103 tackles for loss on the season. So they're doing it on the front, the middle, and the back end right now. I was really impressed with the way the secondary played also.
Damn it, girl, that's how I usually like my Fridays and Saturdays to go. You know what I mean? And that's how Ole Miss has been doing it all year, front end, back end, and in the middle, taking care of business. And I got to ask you, though, as much as I love Pete Golding and as much as I love this year's team, what was it like for you, at least? Because for me, when Austin Simmons came in, the spark that he lit, it was, fourth down, his passes. That young man spinning that ball, as young as he is, and I'm not trying to look to the future because I'm enjoying the present. But dadgummit, Austin Simmons, they better lock that son up because he is going to be a bad mamma jamma in the SEC.
He is. And I tell you what you were talking about, 4th and 1, and he just threads the needle on that slant. That was impressive to me. It was impressive the throw he made. He was hitting some tight windows. But think about that poise coming in at the point at which he did to convert a 4th and 1 like that. There was a lot of pressure. That wasn't first down.
That changed the whole momentum of the game, to be honest with you.
Absolutely it did. And what I found really interesting was after the game, Lane Kiffin talked about how he went up to him and basically said, son, we're not changing the game plan. You know, a lot of times you put your backup QB in and then you got to scale things back and you're handing off or whatever. But he said, no, I told him we are going full speed ahead with our regular game plan. And so I thought that was really cool. I mean, what confidence that must have given Austin Simmons. And obviously it gave some confidence to some potential recruits who were at the game.
We stole Caleb Cunningham.
We had a little flip to the SIP after that game, and I was told he told them, you know, after that game. I mean, heck, he might have told them while he was rushing the field. I don't know. But, you know, it's interesting because Caleb Cunningham, for folks who, well, I guess everybody knows, is a wide receiver, number one player in the state of Mississippi, number 2 overall wide receiver in the entirety of the nation, not just the state of Mississippi, and had been an Alabama commit since July, but had kept coming. This was his 3rd game this fall he's been to, 3rd home game at Ole Miss. So he kept coming. They kept recruiting him. And I would have to think if I'm a 5-star wide receiver, I just want to know who's going to be throwing me the ball and what the situation
Austin
would
Simmons
be.
came in there and he said, damn, I want that young fella throwing me the football.
Absolutely. And so I think, you know, they've developed a rapport, and that's going to be a fun one to watch. And I think, you know, Lane talked about on the SEC Coaches Teleconference yesterday, you can't actually talk about a recruit until they are actually signed. But, you know, the question was asked, what does that do for momentum? I mean, you've had a few commits, you've had this big flip, and, you know, he said, I can't speak to an individual, but, you know, all the recruits that were there this weekend and ones that were watching on TV that we're communicating with talked about the excitement. They just felt a lot of excitement around the program. And so that was cool. That is making an impact, a lasting impact, like you say, I think, on the future of this team. And speaking of the future, when Lane Kiffin was on Paul Feinbaum this week, he actually said what you and I have been talking about for quite some time now, which he confirmed that Knox Kiffin will be moving here this summer and will be going to high school there next year. So I just want all the folks that say Lane might be leaving, Lane isn't going anywhere if his little boy is the quarterback of that football team.
That is the truth. And also, Lane better not leave because, like I said, he just moved my daughter in with Landry in his new house that he built for him, and I don't want to pay rent anymore.
No, see, there you go. I mean, that man isn't going anywhere.
No,
so
he's
from
not.
now on, you're going to be my number one inside source via Savannah. So,
I swear to you, I tried it. There's certain things that I realize I can't say sometimes. And I'm like,
yeah.
But I just hold that in.
You just hold it in. But I think things are looking great in Oxford and for the future. And I find myself about this time of year every year, and I've been this way since I was a little kid going to football games. I can remember it would get to 2 or 3 games left in the season. Of course, you didn't have all this prospect of playoffs and such, but just start to, get a little bit sad, trying to enjoy it, but a little bit sad, thinking,
2
we've
games
got
left.
one home, and one home game left.
The Egg Bowl on Friday after Thanksgiving.
Exactly, but one game left to see those players at home, to see Jackson Dart throwing it in the Vaught, unless, something happens and they could have a playoff game at home. And I'm not giving up on that because I think that could happen. But anyway, so it's just a balance of really enjoying what you've got and knowing, cherish it because it ain't going to be there forever. But like you say, bright future with Austin Simmons and Caleb Cunningham and some others that I think we're going to see.
I will say at the Oklahoma game, every third quarter, I always go see Savannah when she's on that one sideline, and it's right in front of all the scouts. I mean, all the kids who are coming in. You know what I'm talking about, like the recruits. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And I did say, I was like, who the hell's that big boy? and this guy goes, that's Caleb Cunningham. And I was like, damn, he plays wide receiver?
Yes. And, I think we talked about it once before. Austin Simmons is the biggest physical frame-wise quarterback on the Ole Miss roster. And I mean, he's no little boy, even though he's a young
He's
boy.
19,
He's
right?
not a little. Yeah, he just turned the day of the Georgia game. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Austin Simmons. So, but yeah, he's Austin Simmons is 6'4", 215, and that's what he was at the start of the season. I don't know what he is now in terms of weight, but that's a big boy. And he's still growing, I'd be willing to bet.
I'm going to tell you
good
something.
Times.
You're still growing, even though you still have the number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information, the Rebel Walk. It continues to grow. The best writers, the best people. They cover everything Ole Miss, basketball, football, Coach Yo, everything. Check it out. Go to therebelwalk.com. Follow Evie at Ole Miss Evie. She's the sweetest thing you ever heard in your life. Do me a favor, Evie. Have fun with a little bit of week off. Keep pumping out all the content. Tell David I said what up, and I'll talk to you again next week.
Okay, hotty toddy, my friend. Have a great weekend.
Hotty toddy. She's the sweetest thing in the whole wide world. Her husband, David's awesome. But guess what? We're going from sweet and lovely to Butterbean. Do you know who Butterbean is? He knocks fools out. He's on the other side. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time. Free gun rentals with purchase of ammo and members lounge access. Top Gun 2770 Whitten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporty luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
4.9-liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I think I said that twice. I didn't know if I was on, man. That's why you got to have your headphones turned on. I'm so stoked. You know that we got Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson Friday? Do you realize that?
Yep, that's tomorrow.
And, you know, there's a couple things that are going on in the world. You know, people have been paying attention to this. People have been paying attention to that. But I feel like everybody's going to be paying attention on Friday night to what happens with Mike Tyson's and Jake Paul. And let me just tell you another thing. I want you to think about this. Tyson was the youngest heavyweight champ. 20 years, 4 months, and 22 days. He started his career 19 wins, all by knockout. 12 of them in the first round. He was the baddest man alive. I love me Mike Tyson. Also like his edibles. The Evander Holyfield ear with the missing piece. They're some of the best edibles I've ever eaten. But, man, I ain't going to lie to you, man. Mike Tyson is now fighting a social media influencer in Jake Paul. And I haven't been this excited about boxing for a while. And since I saw Butterbean knock people the bleep out, and, man, we are so lucky and so blessed because we got Butterbean now. What's up, Butterbean?
Doing great, guys. How y'all doing?
Man, we are absolutely blessed. I got a question for you. You're going to be at the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight, right?
Yeah, I'm in Texas now.
So you're getting ready to board a plane, huh?
No, I'm already in Texas. I'm already here.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, now I got a question for you. Could you knock both of them out?
Easily.
Easily?
Mike has great power, but he don't have a chin.
That is
I
true.
mean, he's been knocked out 3 or 4 times that I know of.
I mean, I've watched it firsthand. He has been knocked the bleep out. But I will tell you, though, this is the thing for me. Is a social media influencer like Jake Paul, he is a big fella. Like, if he goes in there and he realizes, hey, Mike Tyson's 58 years old, he might be able to knock me out in the first round. If I go ahead and rope-a-dope, do a little Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, if I get him in the later rounds, I'm going to get the dub. Is that what you're kind of seeing?
No.
What are you thinking?
If it's a real fight, it's over in the first round. If it goes past the first round, it's all fixed because they're dope buddies. They smoke dope together, eat edibles together. They hang out when they're not
True.
fighting.
And by the way, Jake Paul's getting $40 million and Mike Tyson's getting 20 on the front end too.
And I want to know why they're fighting women's rules. 2-minute rounds? What's up with that?
I didn't even realize that. So they're fighting just 2-minute rounds, 8 rounds, 2 minutes?
Yeah, women's rules. Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Are they using heavier gloves?
Women could probably beat Jake Paul. I guarantee you the 2 women that's fighting, either one of them would beat Jake Paul.
My man Butterbean just threw it down. I hope you do me a favor. I want to see you Friday when I'm watching this thing. Somehow get in the ring and knock both of them out. But I do know that you're going to be.
I would love to fight the winner. I'd love to fight Jake because he's talked some bad smack about me, a long time ago. When I was injured, he was talking all kind of smack about me, and I'm healed now. I'm 100%. Matter of fact, I'm 110% right now. A 50% Mike Tyson could beat 150% Jake Paul. So Jake Paul, I mean, age don't have nothing to do with it.
So, man, you know this. You know the game. You know the fighting game. So do you think right now Jake Paul being minus 225 are crazy absolute odds?
Without a doubt. I mean, if it's a real fight, I mean, you just don't know. I mean, Jake's had some really stupid stipulations on some of the contracts. I mean, there's so much hype and talk about what the contract says, this and that. They're not going to put nothing stupid in the contract like Mike can't knock Jake down. They're not going to put that in the contract, but that could be a verbal
thing. Yes, because I've heard that Mike Tyson's supposed to not hit him in the face and just would kind of go to his body.
And then I also seen a thing, and I've seen this. He's offering him a $5 million bonus if it goes so many rounds.
Yep, I saw that.
I've seen that on TikTok with Jake.
I saw that.
Offering money to go longer distance. Why would you do that? That's not a fight. This is not a sparring match. It's not a girls' fight. It's grown men.
They are grown men.
I would love to fight either one of them. I'll put it that way.
Man, I hope you get to fight one of them. Let me tell you something. I hope it's Jake Paul. Because, I mean, I hate to see a 58-year-old man get knocked out by your right hook, to be honest with you. Like, I just would almost... I
was with Mike a month ago or so. He just kept filling arms. He goes, man, Butterbean, you in shape now, man. You are in shape. Because I've seen him back in 2017. I mean, I've seen him a good bit occasionally here and there. And I was in pretty bad shape in 2017, but he seen me about a month ago, and he kept grabbing my arm and going, man, Butterbean, you in good shape. How'd you get in such great shape?
By the way, how did you? And by the way, do me a favor, because a lot of people out there don't know exactly what you've been through. You've been through hell and back, and you've come out on the other side. Can you just kind of go into that a little bit?
Well, if you go to YouTube, it's called Butterbean's One More Fight. Or if you go on my TikTok page, I'm like 500 people away from having a 500,000, so there's a good So y'all go sign up and start following me on TikTok, and you'll learn all the new stuff. I'm fixing to give all kind of crazy autographs and gloves and all kind of stuff away when I hit 500,000. So, but DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, worked with me, and like I said, if you go to YouTube, you can watch the whole thing on there.
Do me a favor, Butterbean. What is your Twitter handle? Do you know it?
I don't even get on Twitter much. I couldn't tell you what it is.
Hey, man, I'm right there with you. I do a lot of I'm on Twitter.
The main thing is Sunday, I'm going to be in Memphis, so y'all got to come out and see me.
200th, by the way, if you people don't realize, this is like Memphis Wrestling's 200th episode. It's a milestone. Butterbean's going to be in the house. It is so awesome. What Dustin Starr's been doing is amazing. And plus, not only is Butterbean going to be in the crib, I heard WWE is going to be giving somebody a contract.
It's very possible. You know what? If somebody pisses me off, you might get to see me knock somebody out.
Dude,
I'm not saying I'm gonna, but if somebody pisses me off, it just might happen.
Well, dude, I just wanted you to know I have a gray beard, black hair. Do not knock out the dude with gray beard, black hair who looks really good.
I might just have to try.
Oh, Lord, Butterbean. I'm almost
I might
scared
knock
to go.
out two. I might knock out 2 or 3. Who knows? I might just go mad and knock them all out.
Make sure that you are on November 17th at the Wrestle Center. Butterbean's going to be in the crib. It's the 200th episode. It's going to be big. By the way, can I ask you something, man? What do you think about our buddy Dustin Starr?
It's going to be a great show. It really is. He does a great job.
Man, he has done a great job. By the way, you have been awesome. From Johnny Knoxville's film to you knocking people out left and right to finally getting an opportunity to talk to you. You've been nothing but class and kicking ass. Keep doing it, Butterbean.
If I'm not wrong, the first match is like what, noon? I think. Am I not right?
Yes, you are exactly right. 12:30.
So I get there early, get your autographs, get some pictures with me, and we're gonna have a great time. I'll tell you that much. We know that for sure.
I know they are going to have a great time. And by the way, if you need some tickets, just go to Dustin Starr at Dustin Starr with 2 R's. Hit a little like. You can go to championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. It's so easy to follow. It's so easy to get your tickets. Butterbean will be there Sunday, November 17th. Enjoy the fight. I'll see you on Sunday,
Appreciate
my friend.
It. Hey, we'll see y'all. Have a great day.
That is my buddy, Butterbean. What a nice dude.
Hey, when he was talking about knocking people out, I thought he was just going to go through the whole studio.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, would you let like Johnny? Who was it that got punched in that show? Johnny Knoxville. Was it the dude that's dead?
Was it Wee Man?
No, dude. Hey, dude, I don't know if you know this. Wee Man we're allowed to say midgets, right?
Yes, that's what he is.
He's a midget.
Or you can say little person.
A little person. But like if you're a little person, like Chas is a little person. She's like 5 feet tall, 4'11", maybe 5 feet.
Yeah, she qualifies.
But she's not a midget.
No, she's not.
I mean, I can't set a beer on her head and never mind.
Sure, little lady.
Oh, Lord have mercy,
Yeah,
man.
I thought Butterbean was going to knock out the entire staff. He's just like, I'm going to knock them all out,
I will say, the Jake Paul, listen to him talk about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Like, I've never gone back and forth with anything more in my life. I mean, again, Mike Tyson, when I was young, the dude sounded and looked so ferocious.
He's like, I'm going to eat your kids.
I'm going to eat your kids. I'm going to chew your heart out.
Hey, Butterbean doesn't like that Jake Paul guy,
let me
does
just
he?
tell you something. By the way, what happened? He talks bad.
Yeah, he said he's talking crap about him, man. He really doesn't like that guy, man.
Dude, Jake Paul probably did talk a lot of crap about him because Jake Paul, that's how he makes a living. He's a heel.
Yeah, you may get what you want. Butterbean may knock him out while he's walking, the entrance and all that stuff.
Dude, if that happens, that would be like $80 million down the toilet. So I have a feeling Butterbean's not going to do anything like that. Now, when the fight's over, he might jump up in there and just start whipping ass. Oh, man. By the way, speaking of whipping ass, Commanders, Eagles, who you got?
Taking Commanders 3.5 plus the 3.5.
Man, I can't stand Nick Sirianni. I don't believe in him. But Saquon Barkley's been playing out of his mind.
I would take the Eagles to win.
You got the Slim Reaper who's running. And I don't know if you remember that dude named A.J. Brown.
All of them back, baby.
All of them healthy. All of them going.
Goddard is back off the hamstring.
Dallas is back. And by the way, Butterbean's in Texas. Dude, sometimes you got to see the signs. Dallas Goddard is healthy. Butterbean's in Texas. The fight's going down in Texas. Eagles. You better jump off that joint.
No, you can take Eagles money line, but I'm taking those 3.5 though. Money line, you're about right.
Jay Daniels a bad man, ain't he?
Yeah, he all right. A little light in the keister for me, but I'll take the 3.5. I'll say Philly
Okay, do
wins
you want
by
Caleb
3.
Williams or do you want Jaden Daniels? Do you want a kid that can
Watch
run?
this. Long term, I'm taking Caleb.
And let me tell you something. He is 6'4". Jaden Daniels is still, I think, 22, 23 years old. He's a pup. He's going to put on another 10, 15 pounds over the year. He runs like the wind. He throws. Dude, Lamar Jackson, when he came out of Louisville, do you know what I said?
You didn't like him?
I said, hell no. Why do you think he was the last pick in the first round? Because nobody believed in him necessarily playing from the pocket. Now he's got the best QBR in football. He's thrown 22 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, or 24 to 2 interceptions. 24? Is it 24 to 2? Or 22 to 2?
I think it's 22. No, he's throwing more touchdowns, 24.
It's 24. Man, let me tell you something. Them edibles be kicking in about 12 o'clock. Speaking of Butterbean, talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they do get high and eat edibles today.
Did you?
And let me just tell you something. I don't know if you know this. All athletes on planet Earth, other than the ones that are like Amish. Do we have any Amish athletes that I know of?
Oh, that's Googleable.
Is there a Zechariah in the NBA or in the NFL? I'm just saying everybody smokes weed. Everybody does. Everybody smokes that weed. The reefer, them junts. But Jaden Daniels, man, tonight, I love him. I think he's going to be a better quarterback overall than Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to make a hell of a bag.
Jimmer Fredette.
He was Amish?
Oh, no, my bad. That's his Mormon.
Oh, man, you know what? I love polygamy. I'm a big fan.
Nope, Jimmer was Mormon.
Are you a fan of polygamy?
Break out my dictionary, John.
That means you can have more than one wife.
Oh, okay, yeah, we down.
I'm just saying, like, why is it that, like, polygamy is not, like, the norm? Like, back in the day, did you notice everybody back in the day had, like, every man had, like, every good-looking man or ugly man that was rich? And by the way, I've seen a lot of ugly men that are rich with fine women.
It all started with Springer. After Jerry Springer started calling us out, down the tubes.
It wasn't just Jerry Springer. Don't forget Maury. You are not the father.
Maury was on our side. He was the one that the guys actually liked.
Yeah, that's
because 80% of the time it wasn't our baby.
That is a good point.
That damn Sally Jesse Raphael.
I don't even remember Sally Jesse Raphael.
Oh yeah, Sally Jesse, Ricky Lake, Donahue, all of those.
Ricky Lake? Who's Ricky Lake?
He was
Are they
Fox
big
lady.
women?
Now she probably is, I believe. Unless she took the shot that you were talking about.
Ozempic, baby. 901 Aesthetics. Get the fat person shot to be skinny. Also get your bung bleached. Let's say, when you got buckwheat in the headlock and it's between your legs, get it lasered off. 901 Aesthetics. I hope my boy Matt don't kill me. They are the number one, what do you call it? Aesthetic joint, aesthetic thing.
The hair doctors.
No, but they don't do hair. They do faces. I don't think they do
Oh, they do
boobs.
everything. That's right. You say they do everything.
Man, they do like facials. They do Botox. They do like this blood thing. Oh, by the way, men, you know how like a lot of men lose their hair? They do it where you got like your hair coming back. They take your blood, then they throw it through a transfusion thing, and then they shoot that stuff in your head, and all of a sudden hair grows like a chia pet. Chia.
Like a chia pet?
Just like a chia pet, bro. You remember chia pets back in the day? Like, I know, like, young people have no idea what the hell I'm talking about.
Do you recall they had the election type chia pets? You recall those?
My boy Matt's, listen, it's hair restoration.
There we go. Thank you, man. You got two meatheads in the locker room in here, and neither one of us knew the right term.
I'm just going to tell you something. 901 Aesthetics, they don't play no games. They are the number one aesthetics joint in the Mid-South, period, in the discussion. And if you're beautiful, you need to go over there and see them to stay beautiful. If you ugly, they can fix you. And if you got buckwheat in the headlock, they can also fix that. And if you're bald and look like Dr. Phil on top, they can make you look like... Who's got a dope hair game?
Tom Brady.
Oh, God, Tom Brady. They'll make you look like Tom Brady. I can't stand that.
I know you don't.
Can't stand him.
What about Denzel? It's either Tom Brady or Denzel, man. It's
Man,
one of the two.
Denzel. Are you kidding me? Denzel.
Like an old player. He's an old player.
He's actually just a straight pimp, man.
That's why I went Brady first. Brady's
And by
younger.
the way, how is it Denzel plays almost the same character in every damn movie, but every movie with him is great? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, every movie is basically the same Denzel character, just he's a badass. He's got like a little talk, puts his hand on his chin, he thinks, and he's Denzel, but we call him different names. What's the cop movie where he goes in there and I'm King Kong of this junt?
That's Training Day right there.
Man, Training Day is a sick, sick movie. By the way, I put it on 901 in my phone. I mean, not my phone. This is a computer. And guess what popped up immediately? 901 Aesthetics.
Sean Connery had great hair. James
yeah,
Bond.
he
the
also,
former
like,
James Bond.
Sean, by the way, think about it. Sean Connery got more than anybody else. Whose pay was all that Sean Connery ate on a Monday through a Sunday.
Is that your Sean Connery?
Yes, it is. I don't got no British accent, you fool.
Are you Dr. No or are you Goldfinger?
I'm Goldfinger. I'm going to take a break before I get kicked off the damn air. Don't you dare touch that dial. Back in Two Shake, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Case IH is a proud supporter of the Mississippi Farm Bureau. And thanks to a membership benefits partnership, Mississippi Farm Bureau members receive a discount of up to $500 on every qualifying Case IH tractor and piece of equipment you purchase. This discount may be used with other promotions, rebates, or offers. So join Mid-South Ag Equipment and the Mississippi Farm Bureau and pocket up to $500 in savings. Call Mid-South Ag at 662-890-3141 to get your discount today.
Shop early, save big, all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Right now, get select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at just $59.98. Don't wait to save. Shop these deals today, in-store or online, because Lowe's knows deals. Discount taken at time of purchase while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
I'm partnering with PayPal this Black Friday. Why settle for just one deal when you can stack them? With the PayPal debit card, earn 5% cash back on up to $1,000 of monthly purchases in the category you choose. Apparel, health, groceries, beauty, or new for the holidays, tech. Yeah, tech. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Terms and limits apply. See terms at paypal.com/rewardspal. This card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to a license by MasterCard International Incorporated and may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted.
Hey everybody, it's the thankful month and All-Star Chevy here in Olive Branch has red tags on everything. New 24s and 25s. Gotta love these new affordable Equinoxes for $25. Red tags, 0% financing, a ton of cash for you. Red tags on Silverados, the new 24s with 1.9 plus $3,750 in cash. New Colorado trucks financing down to 1.9 and not one payment until February. Hey, your good credit deserves it. If you're law enforcement, first responder, healthcare, military, education, recent grad, you get an extra $500 bonus. All-Star has pre-owns that you want. Jeep and SUVs, Toyota, Nissan, Suburbans, Tahoes, and tons of pre-owned Silverados. If you have any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get the most money for it today. Drew and everyone at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch wishes you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving. Together, let's drive. AllStarAutoGroup.com.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Thursday, everybody. Like, we are so close to Friday. I cannot wait. Oh, man. That means the show's over, right? That means the best part of waking up is a little Tito's in my cup. If you haven't been listening to Hot 107 from 1:30 to 2 o'clock. I make a little bitty sneak attack. Little
No, I'm going to cut off.
appearance.
You can get a couple more minutes.
Oh, I got a couple more
Go
minutes. I got a couple more minutes. Thank you. Because I do a little sneak attack. You know that, right? Darian, you listen to a little bit of
Oh,
Hot
yes.
107.
You and Christopher Superman McNeil.
Man, the sinner, the saint. Some people call us that, the sinner and the saint. I don't know if you know I'm the saint. Do you think so?
The sinner and the saint?
Well, yeah, I'm the sinner. He's the saint. Because Chris, like, by the way, can I just tell you something? He just plays a character, right? You know he's a sinner.
Yeah, I'll give you some inside information. We worked together at a nightclub once before. I probably had more jobs in this city than anybody in this
How the
city.
hell haven't you worked for me? Oh, wait, you have worked for me before.
That's how I met you, recall? You remember the whole the pocket deal, the nightclub downtown. He was our house DJ for about a year.
You know, when I lived downtown for 19 years, I don't remember a single year. They all blend together. Every single thing I did downtown for 19 years, all blend together.
You know, McNeil, goddamn. Bring back some memories.
I love memories.
Now y'all are the saint in the center?
Sinner and the Saint, baby. Coming up at 1:30 to 2 o'clock on Hot 107. Make sure that you watch the Commanders-Eagles game because I'm getting buck. I'm getting down. I'm telling you, Thursday night, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Saquon Barkley gets completely loose. Take him on the prop bet. Take him on an anytime touchdown. And I know Darian's not going to like it. Take the Eagles.
On the money line, right? Or you giving it your 3.5? You going straight up or?
I'm laying it.
You're laying at 3.5?
I'm laying it.
Brave man. That half point got me. So
The hook.
Absolutely.
Man, the hooks always get me, man, by hook or by crook. But I honestly, man, the Commanders have overachieved so much already on the season. I mean, hell, they hit a Hail Mary against the Bears, and the Bears are terrible. They beat the Giants. They lost a unbelievable game against the Steelers that they should have won. But, I mean, again, it's one of those things. Like, they played the Ravens. What happened? Lamar Jackson got off. They played the Steelers. What happened? That defense kind of held them in check, and, you know, everything kind of broke their way. They beat the Panthers, the Bears, the Giants, the Browns. And I think that's all I can remember.
Well, unfortunately, Philadelphia does not have Lamar, 2-time MVP, nor do they have Pittsburgh's defense. Defense is okay, though. Defense is okay. Washington's a little better.
Washington.
Commandos.
Man, the Commandos, you know what the only thing that makes me think of, right?
Going to war, I guess?
No, man. When you go commando, you don't wear panties. Did you not know that?
I wasn't thinking about going commando.
Like, that's why I can't call them the Commanders, because all I want to start thinking about is how many of their fans show up with no panties on.
Well, you know the Hogs do, so hey.
Yeah. You know what? The Hogs never wore panties. Because they wore boxer briefs or whitey-tighties. Do me a favor, people, man. Take all you got. Put it on the Eagles tonight. Come and join the show tomorrow. We'll dance. We'll sing. And we'll be blessed. If you can't watch the game, you know you can catch all the action right here on Sports 56 98.5 FM. We are the home of the NFL. He's Darian Newsom. I'm John Harden. Do me a favor, Gator. Go kick cancer's ass. My buddy Rowan, kick cancer's ass. Y'all get out there, make the world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Moving is stressful.